Okay, good morning to all the Serengeti homeowners. My name's John Berry. I am an engineered and scientific waterproofing specialist. We are here at a house inside Serengeti where the client has decided to go the scientific and engineered process. Now, going the scientific and engineered process will be able to reduce your maintenance on your home by 80%. So I'm going to show you now, as we go through the entire house, the processes of what it means to eliminate rising damp in your home permanently, dry out your walls with our scientific Aquapol machine, and then following through from the roof down or from the ground up the engineered process. However, doing it in stages and not doing it the traditional way where they say remove all your plaster around your house, put chemicals into your walls, etc. So I'm gonna show you guys the right way of how to do it. And if you're keen and you're interested and you want to know more, then give us a call. I've done over 90 homes inside Serengeti. About 9 homes already have our Aquapol technology in it, and those clients are proof to tell you that our technology works. So stay tuned for the rest of the video as I go along through the project of what we're doing as a remedial process while the machine is installed, as well as the client had many other issues. But stay tuned and you'll get to see the other videos. Berry King Waterproofing.
The first stage, as you can see above, we are sealing the windows around. There are certain windows that the entire window is damaged, which means that we have to foam the frame itself to stop future water from actually affecting the inside structure. Sealing around windows with King Tac 2 primer, transparent membrane on the sills, and Berry Seal 250 engineered seamless system
Around all frame areas around the entire house.
Okay, as you can see this side here, it's the main bedroom on the top. We're going to be foaming that window up there and a few other windows around the corner, but just shows you the severity of damage from either trapped water in the walls, or high salt content in the plaster that's absorbing the humidity in the air, that's causing the plaster to stay wet, which potentially causes the brick to stay wet, and then you have issues on the inside of your walls because the moisture is just soaking right through. So yeah, just to give you an idea that this window will be foamed as well.
We apply polyurethane line all the way around, which then prevents water going in between the frame and the actual plaster, causing damages. We're going to get to the other areas of the frames where we have to foam the frame so that as the frame is actually the one that's damaged.
Hi, my name's Leon. I specialize in windows, manufacturing and maintenance on windows and everything. So we've got a problem at this house with windows that are leaking. So what we basically do is we use this filler foam. Okay, but there's a process that you've got to do before you get to that. You need to drill your holes. And once you've drilled the hole, you need to put water in, because water is what activates your foam and makes your foam spread through the whole frame. You don't need to drill holes all over the place. You just need to drill about 4 holes in this bottom section here, and spray water in, and then put your foam in. And then what we do is, once we put the foam in, we put a grommet in there to stop the foam from coming out of the hole that we drilled. And then it spreads through the whole frame, which seals the frame. Foam in. I don't have my gloves on. Okay, so now we've sprayed the foam, and you'll see as we remove the nozzle, the foam starts coming out the hole. So what we do now is we wear gloves, very important, to not get this stuff all over your fingers. And you knock your grommet in there to seal it.
And then this really seals the frame on the inside. So should the frame have any issues of
not been installed correctly, it's not going to then cause further issues to the inside wall regarding black mold or whatever that starts forming from the moisture that comes from the window.
Correct. That's the way it's done.
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is part of the process of foaming your windows. It saves you from ripping out your windows, and it will at least protect it and protect the wall on the inside so you don't have further issues of damp. This process needed to happen while the Aquapol machine was installed, as we didn't want any further interference while the machine was drying out the structure. Okay, when you look around the skirting between the paving and the wall, we call it a skirting. Generally, we prefer to put a 45-degree on there so that when the surface water runs down the wall, it hits the curb, goes onto the paving, and dissipates to the grass area. A lot of homes have this open cavity here, which is quite severe, and all the surface water just literally runs straight down into your foundation, causing further issues of rising damp in your actual structure. So you can see already now the machine has been installed for about 2 months or so, and the walls will get worse first before they get better, and only once we've reached a 1-year period will we then determine exactly what is the remedial process, which means some of the plaster may be removed, some of the plaster may be reconstructed or refurbished, etc. But this house in particular has some serious outside issues of plaster mosaic cracking. This is just some examples of the dehydration process. You can already see that these areas are getting worse before they get better, with the Aquapol machine doing what it needs to do to dry out the entire house, including the boundary walls, dry out the entire house. You can see the condition of the plaster. Mosaic cracking, poor formulation of plaster when this house was built. Terrible. Okay, that's the Aquapol machine. It's our Inca, which does roughly about 500 square meters. So that machine, you can see it's earthed. It's a cable that runs down to the bottom and gets earthed. It's a self-powered machine, so it runs with no electricity and no batteries. And this, ladies and gentlemen, will dry out your entire inside walls, outside walls, ground floor, right through to your boundary walls with one machine. So if you want your home free of rising damp and save on 80% of maintenance, then install an Aquapol machine. As you can see, the cladding parapet top that goes all the way around, they applied waterproofing, but they only applied waterproofing halfway, which means the rest of the area was open cracks, and it was just taking in water and damaging the inside wall. So part of the Aquapol process, to eliminate any future issues, we needed to redo this area here, apply a membrane on top with waterproofing, and then obviously at the bottom then redo the cladding by spraying a nanotechnology water repellent over that area. As you can see now, we're on the first floor area. There is existing waterproofing on here. However, we will be applying our Rolls-Royce system over this existing waterproofing so that there's no further issues of damp.
Okay, so we're back at our client's house on the slab roof, where we are now waterproofing from the roof down, as the client had some major issues with water finding its way in underneath the existing waterproofing. However, we had to remove some of the waterproofing, but not all the waterproofing, else it would have taken a very long time to remove the waterproofing that they had on top, which it was a cementitious, but it wasn't really a good quality membrane and cementitious system.
Okay, so we now have applied our waterproofing with our fabric over the existing waterproofing, as you can see all the way across till there. we still got to do the 90s, including the parapets going all the way across. Okay, if you recall, I mentioned to you that we needed to put a skirting around the client's house. That's what a skirting basically looks like. The skirting comprises of a formula-based system, so it's not just river sand and cement. It's got a formula in it to make sure that it's nice and firm, doesn't crack over time. We still then put a primer over the curb, and we then put 2 coats of waterproofing around that curb. See the curb. So what happens is the surface water will then hit the curb instead of entering straight into the foundation and causing further issues of damp or rising damp. The curb now is being created to take all that surface water and run it straight onto the paving and away from the actual foundation.
Okay, we now are on the slab roof, and we're going to go around the slab roof just to show you exactly the finishing product of our BerrySeal 250, which can handle 100% ponding water, has a high UV stability, and has a 0 maintenance for 10 years, versus your Torch-On have to maintain every 18 months for a light service and every 3 years for a major service. You will save a lot of money going my route and save on that money that you're going to spend every 18 months and 3 years maintaining your waterproofing so that it doesn't cause you further leaks. So stay tuned to see our process and application process versus giving a guy a gas bottle and a bitumen product. And
if you recall, this parapet top was really bad, and this is the finishing of our material. This is what our material basically looks like. If you can see, we closed an area underneath the overhang to stop water from entering. We then sealed the parapets, the 45 degrees. You can see the quality of our material, the application process. Quality. Around the chimney, we had to reconstruct the entire flow of water coming from the top of the roof and down towards the chimney. Now this chimney is designed in such a way that as soon as the water runs down, it hits the curb, runs straight down and off the roof. Ridge caps were redone. Barge boards have been packed and waterproofed. No further issues of water ingress into these areas. Chimney top completed. If you have a look around the parapets, with Torch-On, they stop probably there. Then this section here gets destroyed with water entering through, running down into the plaster and damaging. If you can see, what we've done is we've gone 50 over, and that 50 over now protects the corner of the parapet and doesn't actually allow further water to actually damage the parapet, causing issues to the surface of the wall on the side.
Okay, so now that you've gone with me around the house, I've shown you the processes that we need to follow while the Aquapol machine is installed, drying out the client's home, doing all the remedial work that is required prior to installing the Aquapol machine, windows, skirtings around the house, foaming of the windows, etc. Now that this stage is basically done, we now wait 1 year. We come back after 1 year and we then continue with the next process of doing the remedial process of either repainting the client's house, applying Gamma Zenith to get rid of the imperfections on the surface of the walls, or going to the point of actually removing the mosaic plaster around the house and replastering with a formula-based system. Bye for now.